I was speaking to one of the flight attendants and got their pronouns wrong. The other flight attendant didn't like it. I said, I'm really sorry. I'm not very versed with pronouns. Okay, so my 16-month-old son, myself, my mother are being denied for they're saying that like it's a hate crime that I did, that I might not even be able to ever fly United. We don't even know how we're going to get back today. My son and I are at United Airlines waiting for our flight from San Francisco to Austin. And the flight attendant has denied access to us because he said that I made a derogatory comment about one of the flight attendants because I didn't use the right pronoun. Now they are forbidding us to get on the plane. I am with my son. He is 25 pounds. I've been carrying him for about 30 minutes. They denied us boarding priority. And now they're about to deny us to board the plane. We'll see what happens.
United Airlines is in some deep doo-doo, if you ask me.
So we're still waiting to board the plane. I did not use the air host's right pronoun by accident. I'm sorry. I'm here with my son. I have the car seat. I have the stroller. I'm carrying everything, and we just need to get on the plane. They will not let us get on the plane. They're calling the air security. I don't know what my rights are in this situation. If anybody can reply, they know what my rights are. But this is ridiculous. United Airlines, San Francisco flight to Houston. I don't know what's going on. I can't even understand what's going on here.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Ty Rivera here, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world. Before we get started, I'm just going to ask, as always, that you like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to leave a comment just to help me on the algorithm, but you don't know what to leave, just leave a knife. Because you know these nonsensical LGBTQ haters are definitely going to come for my neck on this one. All right, you guys. So if you ask me, United Airlines is about to face the wrath of the public because I can't see a world where a flight attendant's pronouns are more important than a woman, her baby, and her mother getting home. I predict this will be a huge deal for United because if you've ever hung out with a mother or traveled with a mother, you know that they've got everything on them. So every once in a while, they will be a little bit snippy. Within reason, I think that's acceptable. I think it's also understandable. Yeah, if she truly verbally abused this flight attendant, I can understand that. But if you just use the wrong pronouns, and even if you got corrected and you're like, all right, I don't have time for that right now, but whatever. If you gave a response like that, even that to me is acceptable because what I think people forget when they're talking about my pronouns, these are my pronouns. Okay, they're your pronouns. Nobody has to respect them or care about them other than you. If you accidentally get misgendered, maybe try a little harder to look like whatever you're trying to look like. I haven't seen this flight attendant yet, but a lot of times people will assume that you just know what they are. And sometimes when people are in a hurry or not really thinking about you and maybe they say the wrong thing, why does it have to be a big deal other than the way that you identify? Because there was a point in my history where I had really long hair. It was super long. It was beautiful. But my point with this isn't just to flex that I have great hair when I grow it out. It's actually because a lot of times people would either just glance or see me out of the corner of their eye and they would address me as she or her, at least for that quick second. Because I have no issues with my own identity, I would either just smile and then we'd move on with the conversation, or there was one time it happened at a DMV where me and a lady had kind of a good laugh about it. Like both of us just like really we went with the moment and we got into that laugh. It was really fun the way we both kind of lost it for a second there. And it's like, if you're secure in who you are, then why do you need everybody else to address you a particular way, or it's a big deal? And I can understand if you politely correct somebody and then move on. But why does it have to be an actual situation? Why does it have to turn into a hate crime, a person not being able to do what they have to do? We all know that almost every flight is overbooked. So that means that this lady, her mom, and her kid aren't just going to get rolled over to the next flight. In a lot of cases, they're going to have to wait a couple of flights because everything is oversold. Also, this lady was flying from San Francisco to Austin, Texas, which I live in Austin, Texas. And the truth is, we don't care about that stuff. So when you're maybe a flight attendant that's based in San Francisco and you're used to living in that world, you can't expect everybody else to just adopt your customs. United Airlines can't just expect everybody to be woke, especially when it comes to their passengers. If you want to enforce that within your staff, make sure that employees all understand the way that they're supposed to properly gender people. That I can understand. But when we're talking about the passengers, you're not going to be able to get people to just subscribe to a particular way of thinking. So then she ends up talking to one of the higher ups to find out what's going on because she was actually denied being able to get on that flight.
We'll refund your tickets and let you go to another carrier based on I got a fact find. I can't make any determinations. I've got a fact find. I've got to get my crews together. In-flight has to get their statements.
What is it they said that I said? I'm just curious what they said.
I need statements. I don't want to go verbal about what I thought I heard or what I said heard, but the captain denied you.
Okay.
And when the captain denies you, it's end of the story.
So my 16-month-old son, myself, my mother are being denied for I believe I got the wrong pronoun. I didn't know they or he or she.
There was some more that I heard that you had a conversation with in-flight.
And my son's medicine is on the plane right now, but he needs his medicine if we're going to stay here the night in San Francisco.
The aircraft has dispatched your bags with the intention that you were supposed to fly.
Yes.
And because of the verbal confrontation that you just had.
Okay, now the problem I have with that is if you have to fact find, why is this woman and her family being asked not to get on this flight or being denied? Because she's not being asked, she's being told. She just told her that she was going to refund her money and she could possibly fly with another carrier, which we all know a last minute flight is going to be way more expensive than whatever they're refunding her. But that aside, if you've got to do fact finding, then why would you make it so that these people can't travel to where they have to travel to? Even if she had said something that I'm sure was somewhat benign, it has to be. Because if she had actually said anything like a slur, that I could understand. If you call somebody the F slur, as they like to call it, then I could definitely understand that. But barring something like that, to me, it all comes down to ideologies and maybe personality conflicts. And again, I go back to the fact that this is a mother with her 16-month-old child. And you're telling me that a mother with her mother and an actual baby are not going to be able to get home or going to have to wonder about how they're going to be able to get home because she didn't use the proper pronouns. This to me hurts the entire community. When it comes to LGBT and people talking about the falling numbers in support for LGBT and the fact that we're supposedly losing rights or there's legislation for us to lose rights, this is why we're losing rights. It's not the hateful people on the right. It really is people within the community not being secure enough in themselves to be able to say, okay, this lady made a mistake. How about not even addressing it? How about not even telling her what your actual pronouns are? How about just letting it slide because you can see that this is a mother with a small child? Because in case you guys don't remember or don't know, when it comes to small kids, they'll do anything. They'll start screaming. They'll be throwing shit. There's toys you gotta keep track of. I'm sure there's a diaper bag. He's 16 months old. The stroller. There's also the car seat. So how about just cutting this lady a break? And like she said, it's a 25-pound child. I travel with Bijou a lot of times. She's my small dog, my baby. And she weighs 11 pounds. We're on a diet right now, so she's 10.4 pounds. We're making progress. But when I walk with her, that strap really begins to hurt my shoulder because I carry her in the carrier. So I can just imagine having a kid on your hip or in any way you're going to carry a 25-pound kid. So there's also that. And then the medication on top of it, it's the medication for the kid, the mother, and the grandmother. I know some people are going to be like, not on Pride Month, you don't misgender somebody. And I'm going to go ahead and counter right now and say, Pride Month doesn't matter. Everybody is over Pride Month anyway. So if you guys really want to figure out why we as LGBT LGBTQIA plus are losing support with the general public, why people aren't sympathetic to our issues, it's because our issues are no longer actual issues. Our issues are now flexes on the public and trying to make sure that people properly bow down to us in every situation, whether or not we're right or wrong, whether or not we could just be the bigger person and say, you know what? And you don't have to say this out loud. You could say it in your head. You can be like, my pronouns don't really matter right now. I'm at work. As long as a person is being as respectful and compliant as this situation actually requires, everything else is water off a duck's back. I'm telling you guys, when they say go woke, go broke, that's what's going to happen with United, because I don't think a lot of people are going to stand for this. I fly Delta, so this isn't a me problem. But if I were thinking about flying, and when did United get so politically correct anyway? Didn't they kill somebody's dog by having them put it in the overhead bin? And didn't they also drag that little Asian doctor down the aisle when he refused to go because it was overbooked? Isn't that United? When did United become so touchy-feely about everything?
Okay, so we were denied boarding, myself, my 16-month-old son, my mother. They took our luggage on the plane, which has my thyroid medication, which I'll be very sick without, my mother's medication. They basically said tough luck. And they won't tell me exactly what I said, but what happened, and I will tell you what happened right now. I was speaking to one of the flight attendants and got their pronouns wrong. The other flight attendant didn't like it. I said, I'm really sorry. I'm not very versed with pronouns. I was holding my son. He was having a temper tantrum. I had the car seat on my back. I wasn't really focusing on anything except getting my son's car seat on the flight and getting him comfortable and safe, and him, because now it's his nap time. You can see he's kind of fallen asleep. They're saying that like it's a hate crime that I did, that I might not even be able to ever fly United. We don't even know how we're going to get back today. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. I don't know what my rights are here. I think that it's...
You shouldn't have to be versed in pronouns in order to fly. And I don't even know where the term hate crime comes in all of this. I don't really care what anybody's saying. Words alone should not be considered a hate crime. There's freedom of speech in this country. You may not like what somebody has to say, but it should not be considered an actual hate crime just because you say a word that somebody doesn't like. Annoying, yes. And if you use one of the words we all agree is an actual slur, I understand if they at that point decide to refuse service. But if you're talking about legal ramifications, I don't think hate crime should even come into play on this type of thing. Did you think she was going to throw the baby at you? Did you think she was going to beat you with the stroller, pummel you with the car seat, jab you in the eye with the pacifier, club you with the rattle? What exactly do we think that this woman was going to do that's worthy of being considered a hate crime? Can we be honest about that? And that's why I say the LGBTQ community is always looking for these ways to make it seem like everybody's hating on them, when really you're just being annoying now. It has gotten to the point where as soon as I hear that there is something going on and a person from the LGBTQ community is involved in it, I automatically in my mind blame the LGBT person. I automatically in my mind think, all right, we're going to hear some bullshit from the LGBT community right now. Maybe I'm too old school, because I still do remember that when you were considered the customer, it was the company that was offering the service that would go out of their way to make you comfortable. But now in this reverse clown world that we all live in, suddenly we're expected to go out of our way to make sure the people that are working are comfortable. And again, I fully understand and do get if a passenger is being truly abusive. So I guess we're going to have to wait and see what United actually has to say about it. I might do an update video if it's anything worth actually talking about, but I cannot see how this is going to turn out in United's favor. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. As always, this has been Ty Rivera, the absolute best LGBTQ comedian in the world.
They bought into his bullshit.